Should be recording now. I got my new 11 mic. Got my deluxe bucks here. We're gonna shear like 8 head of just like little hobby farm sheep. I'm gonna get out my combs and cutters here, and I actually have 2 comb pouches here. These are like my favorite combs. A couple of hand pieces here. Boy, they are greased up today. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that is nasty. Holy cow, look at all this. Grease just comes right off though. Look at all that. Look at this one. Ooh. I'm cleaning them right now. It's just gross. Just all slimy. Nobody likes to grab a slimy handpiece first thing in the morning. I'm going to test these new cutters today I got from Expert Shearing. Today I'm trying out some new cutters. I'm really excited. Just got this in the mail from Expert Shearing. Thank you guys so much. And I just watched all their videos on YouTube. Well, not all of them, but a handful of their videos on sharpening and how the hollow works. So inside the package, there's a little pamphlet they sent me. All right, it just talks about the extra fine tips here. The new Expert 3mm cutter. It's a run-in cutter. Most run-in cutters are 3.5 millimeters. This is where I like to run them. And it's got the added bonus of the finest tips on the market, so better flow into the wool. The narrower, the better. These should cut good. And we got a pendulum in here too. Cutter pendulum right here. And I'll show you why it's patented. I got another pamphlet here. We got some cutters. This says that they're 3mm cutters. This is actually really exciting for me. I like these. I like this thickness of cutter because when my cutters get to 3mm, that's when they cut the best. Look at that. And they have what's called rat markers, radius angle technology. This just shows, like, if you draw a horizontal line across your paper on your grinder, you can line this up with that horizontal line going across the center, and it'll show you where to hang your pendulum. This is the new pendulum. What's different about it is the way it holds the cutters. These are spring-loaded
magnets.
When you're pushing down on it against the grinder, it keeps even pressure, yeah, all the way across your cutter. So you're for sure
all 4 instead of just 2.
Right, so you're not putting pressure on just 2 points. It's evenly spread out, which there is a hollow in the grind the way the disc is shaped. So it's going to take more material out of the center of this.
Way the 4 points.
And like kind of like this, yeah. But if it doesn't get the hollow, you're not going to get a good cut. So enough of that. All right, so I am going to test this cutter. It's a 3mm Expert cutter, run in. And I'm going to put it on my best cut and hand piece. I find that this hand piece cuts better than this one most of the time. This one still cuts good, but this one I'm getting the best cut on. I'm going to use my favorite comb today. This is called the Combat. It just works good on all kinds of sheep. So we'll just slap that on there. I know this has a good grind on it. We'll put it on there with a brand new Expert cutter.
It better look pretty.
It'll look good. The sheep better be presentable too.
See?
He asked if we should test this on his beard. We're going to go test it on a sheep right now.
How the hell do you get dirt in it?
I don't know. Anyways, it's a cute lamb, well behaved, good teeth.
They load in the horse trailer by themselves.
They load up.
Bucket, just slap the horse trailer,
we're going to try this 3mm cutter. It should go. So when you tighten it up, you can just let the weight of the hand piece do your tension. You don't need much. Oh yeah, that cuts. They're kind of big belly, huh? to being relaxed. She trusts me again. She's all right. On it and see if we still get an even better cut. Because if you're getting a true cut where you're using the hollow, you really don't need any tension. Look at that. Look at this lamb here, guys.
Beautiful ewe lamb, isn't it?
It's a beautiful lamb. The first thing this lamb does is drop its head and look for food. That was a good clip right there. I'm very happy with that, you guys. I'd say it cuts right out of the box. I really like these pointy tips. I do like the pointy tips because they do enter better in tough wool when they're pointier like that. Now look at that. See how much more rounded these are? And these are pointier. These are gonna go. Thank you guys. Cannot wait to try this. Hey. Freshly peeled sheep. The instructions for how to set up your pendulum for use say to draw a line directly across the center of your disc. It's really easy to do. And then mark 25 millimeters from the edge, which is 0.98 inches. So just under an inch from the edge. Make a little mark. I'm going to put the disc on. And we're going to give that nut a good tighten. I usually give it a couple taps with my hammer. I need a bigger wrench. But anyways, I got it good and tight. This is the expert cutter with the rat markers. Okay, and I'm just going to extend that down to the edge of the cutter, the cutting edge of the cutter, so it lines up perfectly with that line. So I'm going to set it on here, and what you want to do is get the cutter lined up with that line perfectly across, and then the right edge of the cutter goes to your mark. That's 0.98 inches or 25 millimeters from the edge. And when it's over to that side like that, and you can see the black lines line up perfectly on both sides, you're in the right spot. Now this is very important. Now the other thing is setting when the cutter comes to the flat surface of the disc, you want it to hit flush. Right now it's hitting, you know, the bottom of the cutter first. So what I need to do is move the pendulum closer to the disc, so when it touches, it just touches flat. So we're going to get a flat grind, not a heel grind. Okay, and we're going to put this on here. And this is the way they teach in the manual that comes with this, is to come in gently and then go to the center and back out all the way to the edge and then stop right there where that marker is, the right edge of your cutter to that mark. Okay, now I have a personal technique that I use for grinding. I think everyone does it a little bit differently. I like to set it near the center of the disc, and as soon as it locks on, you'll see all the sparks, and it'll lock on to the shape of the disc, and that's when I'll start grinding, and then I'll pull straight off in that same position. Now this is very important. The reason why we're doing this is very important because you can see here that this cutter has some dull tips. It's a little bit difficult to see, but in a second you'll see it better. But I'll get to the important part here in just a second. There's a hollow in the disc. I'm going to hit it one more time here and try to get that ground out. Now you can really see it now in the light where it's dull. See those tips up in the top right there? See how that's not perfect? Alright, it's slowly taking the shape of my disc. The disc has what's called a hollow grind, or gives it what's called a hollow grind. It drops off from the center of the disc down to the edge, and it puts a hollow. Now that looks perfect. It puts what's called a hollow in the cutter and the comb, and when they come together, it has more of a scissor effect. So it's not a completely flat grind. But this is the most important thing that you can do, you know, to improve your shearing. I have struggled with it. Also make sure you please make sure
you strap down your grinder. All right, that's like very important. We had one guy this year, his grinder fell off of the counter that he was grinding on, and it ground down to the bone on one of his knuckles, and he had to go, to the doctor, and he was out of work for actually a while because of that. So please be careful grinding. These are just the pamphlets that came with these. I just want to say thanks again. I love this technology on this cutter pendulum because it does give it a nice true grind. It keeps it true to the surface. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Getting a perfect cut is the most important thing you can do.